Hey everyone, welcome to AlgoCraft. This is our very first video in the 100 array examples series on the data structure and algorithm with JavaScript. So start with the first example. So first example is find the maximum element. So problem is given an array of integers, find the maximum largest value. So explanation the problem in simple terms. We have an array of integers and we need to determine the largest value in it. In other words, if you line up all the number in the array, which one is the biggest? For example, if our array is 3715, the maximum value is 7. So start with the dry run. Let's do a quick step-by-step example for a small array. Suppose the array is a equals to 2, 10, 4, and 8. Okay. So first step is start by assuming that the first element is the largest. Okay. So max value equal to 2 because 2 is the first element of the array. Okay. Second step, move the second element. So second element is 10 and compare it with max value. So max value is 2. If we compare the second element with the max value, so second element is greater than 2. So in this case, we update the max value. So max value equals to 10 in the second step. Now we move to the third element. So now third element is also third element is less than the max value because third element is 4 and now max element is 10. So we do not update the max value and max value remains 10. Move to the fourth element. Fourth element is 8. So compare with the max value. So max value is 10. So 8 is less than 10. So do not update and at the end max value is 10. So that's our max value. Okay. So we are using 3 approaches to solve this problem. Okay. So firstly we did the dry run. Now we start with the 3 approaches. So first approach is first approach is iterative, also called linear approach. Okay, so what is the idea about solve in the iterative approach? Scan through the array and keep updating the maximum when you find a larger value. Okay, so this will be the first approach, and I will share the idea about. And second approach is sorting, sorting based approach. So idea, sort the array and the element, last element in the sorted array is the largest. Okay, now move to the approach, built-in function. Idea, many programming language provide a built-in function to get the maximum value in a collection. Okay, so start with the iterative approach. So we need to create a function find max iterative, and we need to pass an array number of arrays in the parameter, and we assume the first element is the max because we did the dry run. Let declare a variable max value. So what is the max value? So first element of the array is max value. Okay. So after that we need to run a loop. Loop through the array is starting from the second element. Let I equals to 1. I is less than the array length. What is the third statement? Increase the value of the I. So in this loop, we need to check and compare the array current array element value with the max value. If we find a bigger element than our current max value, we update max value. Okay, so start the comparison. So here is our current array element. I check is greater than max value, and if we found max value is current element is greater than max element max value, so we update the max value with the current element. Okay, so after comparison, after checking all the elements, max value hold the largest one, so we need to return the largest one. So after checking all the elements, max value holds the largest one. So we need to return max value. So need to check with the example. Example. We declare a constant array numbers one because we check with the approach one, so that's why I put the numbers one. So we declare a array with any random numbers of array 3 7 second, yeah, 3 7 1 and 5 and 5. Okay, so this was our array. So we need to call the function to get the output. So console dot log find x iterative value was the number one parameter. Okay, so we need to run the code in terminal. And wait for the result. There is one issue when you start the loop. That's why we are not getting the result. So we need to run again, and now we find the largest number. Okay, so this was the first approach. Now we need to move to the second approach. Okay, so second approach is sorting approach. So we need to create another function find max, and now this approach is related to the sorting. So we put the name find max sorting function and need to pass the parameter. Okay, so in sorting function, sort the array in ascending order. Okay, so how to sort an array? So there is inbuilt function of sort. We need to compare. So we did the sorting, and the last element in the sorted array is the biggest. So we just need to return the last element of the array. So how do we return last element? So just we need to check the length of the array and -1. Okay. So need to check with the example. We need to get a array. So this was the approach 2. So we put the name number 2, not 12, the array. So we check with the same. So we check with the different variable 4, 15, 7, and 10. Okay. Now need to console and call the function, find the sorting, and pass the array. Okay. So run the code and we got the maximum number of elements. Okay. So now we move to the third approach, built-in function. We need to move the idea to the top. So the first sorting approach. Yeah. So we need to create a function find max building. Pass the array parameter and simply use JavaScript math.max not math math.max function inbuilt function with spread operator. Okay. So simply return math.max and pass the array. So we run with the Math.max and pass with the spread operator. So after that we need to check with the example. So example, we need to create an array const numbers 3 equal to random 10, 15, 16, 18. This is our array and console log find the function and pass the number 3 in parameter. Okay, so we need to run the code. Now we got the result. Okay, and that's it for our first example and finding the maximum element in array. I hope you found this helpful and picked up a few insights along the way. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to AlgoCraft and turn on notification so you don't miss our next array challenge. Thanks for watching.